Do you want to know how to stay calm when your child has a panic attack? I'm Nicholeen Peck, and I teach all over the world about parenting, good communication, how to build strong family bonds, resilience, becoming anti-fragile, anxiety, depression, all through the lens of the principle of self-government. And in this video, we're talking about panic attacks. When children have a panic attack, that can feel hard. What do we do to help them? Are we going to be able to help them? Sometimes our own panic starts to set in. So in this video, what we're going to talk about is a couple of stories. One about a child having a panic attack, and then I want to tell you a personal story about myself having panic attacks and what you can do to stay calm when someone else is having a panic attack, but also help them be able to overcome that difficult moment. When I talk about panic attacks, this is a personal thing for me. There was actually a time when my brain was having a little bit of a struggle chemically, and I started having panic attacks. It came out of nowhere. I was so surprised. I had PTSD, and I would have, sworn on a stack of Bibles that there was not enough air in the room, or that the room was closing in, or that the sky was closing in. I had so much panic in me about closed spaces at that time when I was having my PTSD attacks. And so I know that panic attacks are real, they are hard, and they can just happen to a person. So how do we work through those things, and what do we do when someone is having panic attacks? Sometimes it is fake. I hate to say that. Usually it's true, but every once in a while people will fake panic attacks just to try to gain control. So if you're dealing with that, try to assess what's going on there with that situation. There was a recent experience where a friend of mine finally went to one of her other friends that she kept helping with panic attacks, taking her to the hospital and everything. And she finally looked at her and said, "You know what? Nobody believes you anymore on these things. Why are you even doing this?" And the person who'd been having the panic attacks said, "Well, when I fake a panic attack, my boyfriend gives me attention. And so that's why." And she literally knew she was faking it. But finally, when she knew nobody was fooled anymore, she had to tell the truth. And she'd ruined relationships in her family, all of her friends, her teachers, the people that were supporting her. It was so sad. So sometimes it can be fake, okay? But let's assume it's not. Let's assume it's real. And, well, actually, real or fake, you need to stay calm. Okay, so how can we stay calm during this? I want to share just one other quick story about someone I know who was dealing with a child with panic attacks. These panic attacks would occur when it was time to pick the child up from school. They felt nervous about leaving school, about having an environmental change, about car rides, all kinds of anxieties, and they would start to panic about having to leave their friends and leave the school and those types of things. And it was very, very difficult for this family. And the parent decided, if I don't feel okay about this, if I'm dreading the pickups every day, then I know we're going to have a problem. So I am going to work on my own calmness and see if my own calmness can help the situation. And it did. So I do believe there is something called the boomerang effect. I mean, that's what I call it, is a boomerang effect, which is that if you're calm, say, around somebody else, then that person is more likely to be calm around you. If you smile at them, then they're more likely to smile at you. If you're grumpy, they're more likely to be grumpy. If you're negative, other people around you are more likely to be negative. This is called mirror neurons. So we mirror the people that we are around. If you've noticed being around people who maybe have a certain accent and suddenly you speak in that accent, that's a type of mirroring that can happen. And it definitely happens with emotions. This is why when there's one person that's upset, angry, frustrated, or just flat out cruel in a family, then the other people start behaving the same way. It's a mirror neuron effect. So what can you do to stay calm? You've got to have your calm plan no matter what anybody else is doing. A truly calm person can stay calm even if somebody else around them is not. So we know calmness is key, but going from feeling worried, upset, anxious ourselves to being calm can be easier said than done. So I developed a step-by-step process for myself years ago when I was taking in troubled teens and helping them with their calmness that would help me be ready always to help them get back to a place of calmness too. There's a certain dialogue that I go through to help them if they're going completely out of control. But before I even start that dialogue, first I examine myself. When you're starting to feel anxious, your brain is detaching the connections to that prefrontal cortex. You stop thinking clearly. So one of the best things that you can do is try to engage that prefrontal cortex by maybe doing some deep breathing, but also by telling yourself what to do next. Tell yourself what's happening and what to do. If you start describing what's going on, you'll be much more successful at staying calm. So this is how it works for me. I see that something's going on around me that doesn't look like it's very calm. Maybe somebody's getting angry or emotional in some way. I'll say, okay, that's a power struggle right now, or that's a chaos right now, or that's somebody getting out of control, and I'll describe what I see. So then when I recognize this chaos happening, I tell myself, stop. I take a little mini step back, and then I ask myself a question in my head. The question is, am I calm? And if the answer is yes, then my next question is, what skills do I have to handle this situation? I start going into a planning phase and analyzation of what I know and what I'm prepared with. This puts me in front brain, so now I'm ready to stay calm, listen to the other person, instruct the other person, and help them through a process that I call the rule of 3. Now, if your child is super small, there's another process that we do when they are toddlers and they're going completely out of instructional control. Now, there are videos where I talk about out of control behaviors and how to help a person. I talk about some of these intensive teaching styles. I also teach them in my TSG parenting course. And I go into great detail there so that you can actually implement them into your home with success. So if I have my own calm plan in place, then naturally I'd want them to learn their calm plan too. I would love to help you with your calm plans, and I would love to do it for free, just as a gift for you. Our world needs more calmness, and calmness is the perfect first step towards self-government. So learn more about calmness and learn 10 tools for calmness for you and your children in my Calm Parenting Toolkit, which is on my website. It's a mini course, and you can have it for free right now. So go to teachingselfgovernment.com and get the Calm Parenting Toolkit and start your journey to calmness today.